Good evening. This is a meeting of the Township Committee, November 18, 2013. The notice requirements provided for in the Open Public Meetings Act have been satisfied. Notice of this meeting was properly given by transmission to the Asbury Park Press, the Star Ledger, the Independent, and the Trooper Times, and by posting at the Middletown Township Municipal Building and filing with the Township Clerk on January 11, 2013. Committeeman Fiore.
Here.
Committeeman Massell.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Murray. Here. Committeeman Sedembrino.
Here.
Mayor Sharkema.
Here.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I would like to ask for a moment of silence to honor our troops serving worldwide, defending our freedoms, constitutions, and way of life. Thank you. Our first item on tonight's agenda, we have a presentation for certificate of recognition for breast intentions for their Pink Pact initiative for breast cancer awareness. At this time, I'd like to invite the Breast Intentions Junior Board Member Brian Ruan and Breast Intentions Junior Board Member Emily Antonino. Please come forward.
Anytime we have young people who get involved in such a serious topic such as breast cancer, it really is sort of an eye-opener and a welcome eye-opener to everybody up here on the Township Committee. To think that, we have this image of young people sort of being aloof and detached from the real world, and it's always good to be reminded that there really are good kids out there, and really, people who care about their community and care about the important things in life. You guys want to give a little bit of an overview of what exactly what programs like?
Well, we got involved in this by my brother, President Bo, started the organization, and then we wanted to do the Pink Pact to tell people that they do those breast self-exams to get.
It is coming out.
To detect breast cancer early.
Yeah, it was for breast cancer awareness month, and it was just to teach students the importance of self-breastfeeding.
We have a certificate for each one of you, and I'm going to combine them and roll them to this certificate is awarded to Emily Antonio, and Brian Lane, Junior Breast Intentions Board members by Middletown Township Committee in recognition of many hours you spent developing the Pink Pact Assembly Program for Middletown High Schools in North and South. The program, which educates young women about breast health, will be used as a model in high schools statewide. Your outstanding leadership and drive to make a positive impact on the community is commendable. Good luck with all your future endeavors. Sign this date, 18th of November 2013, and Jerry Schottenberger. Thank you very much. Have you seen this done before?
Brother and cousins here for this.
Okay.
Will you be still hold on those? Hopefully we'll have the right name for the others. It's really great. We'll look at the center. And they happy because it's almost open. There you go. Awesome. Thank you very much. Yes, that was great.
agenda, we have approval of minutes for August 19, 2013 executive session, and August 19, 2013 regular meeting, the September 3, 2013 workshop meeting, and the September 16, 2013 regular meeting.
Move for approval?
Second. Committeeman Fiore.
Yes.
Committeeman Massell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Murray.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Mayor Sharples.
Yes.
Motion carries to approve minutes. At this time, I'd like to ask the Township Committee to adopt a consent agenda, which would include resolutions 13-265 through 13-286, including volunteer firefighter applications and bingo raffles.
Can I just ask that we remove separately 13-271?
And also, please, 13-279.
Additionally, on the resolution that you just provided us, right?
13-286.
13-286, please, thank you.
At this time, the consent agenda would include resolutions 13-265 through 13-285, including volunteer firefighter applications and bingo raffles, and excluding resolutions 13-271, 13-279, and 13-286.
Okay, move for adoption.
Second.
Committeeman Fiore.
Yes.
Committeeman Massell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Murray.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Mayor Sharples.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt consent agenda. At this time, we have resolution 13-264, resolution authorizing payment of bills for November 4, 2013 and November 18, 2013.
Move for adoption.
Second.
Committeeman Fiore.
Yes.
Committeeman Massell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Murray. Yes. Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Mayor Sharples.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt resolution 13-264. Our next resolution, we have 13-271, resolution advocating the appeal for reform of the Bigger Waters Act provisions uniformly raising NFIP premiums.
Move for adoption.
Second.
Committeeman Fiore.
Yes, with comment?
Committeeman Massell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Murray.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Mayor Sharples.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt resolution 13-271. Committeeman Fiore.
Yes, thank you. Just a couple words on the resolution 13-271. For those of you who were here last time and those from the media here, my tip of the hat to Mr. Humil and the Independent for their coverage, especially on this specific topic here. This has to do with the, I'm going to call it conundrum that we've been put in North Middletown, for our residents in North Middletown, with respect to an act that was passed last year in 2012. Not to rehash my comments again from last meeting, but the last time we had met, I had promised, along with the committee, to put a resolution together looking for reforms of this act, which unfairly and squarely puts flood insurance premiums to homeowners that have flood protection through our levee and flood control system in North Middletown and not receive a drop of water, looking for reforms that would protect them from ridiculously extreme new flood insurance rates because of their elevation. And I thank the committee, the administrator, and especially Mr. Nelson for working together to put this resolution together. I know that meetings have been happening with congressional leaders in the area, some better than others, and I know one is scheduled very soon. I know I've had some conversations with Congressman Smith about this particular issue. So I asked the clerk to make sure that this resolution gets out to every coastal municipality, not only in Monmouth County, but everywhere we can, to hopefully pass a similar resolution asking for, this reform and for state intervention. Thank you.
Okay, and you know what, Heidi, if I could just say, piggyback onto what Mr. Fiore said, I would hope that this goes to all of the all of the municipalities in the state. We can do that. We can do a blast, all of them. And just to make everybody aware that we're not going to let this lie with a resolution now. We've been in contact with Congressman Smith's office, and Mr. Fiore and I are planning a trip down to Washington, hopefully before they break for the holidays, to meet with Congressman Smith and his staff, and whoever else we can sort of Shanghai while we're down there, to show how important it is to us that we're willing to make the trip down there on our dime, but it really is an important issue that we really have to hold their feet to the fire and not let up, because the minute they think it's over, then we're back to square one. So, thank you.
Our next resolution, we have 13-279, resolution authorizing construction of a compressed natural gas fuel station on the Municipal Department of Public Works property.
Move for adoption.
Second.
Mayor Fiore.
Yes.
Committeeman Massell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Murray.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Mayor Schaffenberger.
Yes, with a brief comment. This resolution is going to allow us to go forward with something, an initiative that we've been speaking about for quite a while now. And it's going to be a fully funded natural gas facility over at the recycling center in that vicinity. And something we're really excited about. We think it's going to save the township a lot of money. Certainly clean natural gas is a less expensive fuel in this point in time. We worked out a deal with New Jersey Resources, the parent company of New Jersey Natural Gas, where they will fund the building of the facility under a few conditions. So we really are excited about this. We think this is the future of energy in not only the town, but probably in the country. There's almost unlimited supplies here nationally. And we have several vehicles that we were able to purchase at no cost to the taxpayers already, and we hope to expand that fleet in the future. So it should be a very good initiative for all of us here now and certainly down the road in the future. Thank you.
Our next resolution, we have 13-286, a resolution authorizing professional service contract for architectural services. So moved.
Second.
Committeeman Fiore.
Yes.
Committeeman Massell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Murray.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Abstain.
Mayor Schaffenberger.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt resolution 13-286 with extension noted. Okay, we have township committee comments.
Okay, Mr. Massell.
Just one comment to be the first. I want to be the first to congratulate you and Councilman Sedambrino for your big win in the beginning of the month. Congratulations, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Good. Yeah, that was simple. Okay, Mr. Sedambrino.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First and foremost, I do want to thank our Democratic competitors in the election, Linda Baum and Pat Olson, for running a great race. We look forward, I certainly look forward as a member of the Township Committee to working with you as things progress with any of the ideas that you have so that we can work as one for the Township of Middletown. That being said, I did have the opportunity last Sunday to go to a couple events, one of which was the American Legion Pancake Breakfast, where the size of the pancakes were about the size of the plate. It was very well attended, and the majority of the Township Committee was in attendance there. I'm sure the Mayor will expand, or the Deputy Mayor will expand on the VFW parade that we did attend last Sunday as well. It was a busy day for us on the committee, and those parades are more than simply a gathering of officials and groups of veterans. It's really a way for us to remember what all of our predecessors have gone through to get us the freedoms that we have today. So that's important. It's very important not to forget. And last but not least, Mayor, I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Fiore.
Thank you, Mayor. A few things this evening. One, to just also send my Congratulations to two great colleagues on the Township Committee, both you, Mayor Scharfenberger, and Committeeman Senabrino, on a very big victory in November. Very well deserved, and look forward to serving another 3 years with you. Hopefully next year I can take another 2 years there, so the way we stagger our terms. So again, congratulations, well deserved, and
Thank you very much.
Look forward to next year on the dais together again. Just a few other quick comments. The VFW parade is always one, as Committeeman Senabrino mentioned, a great parade and a great time for the community to come together, and really appreciate having that ability and working together with our veterans groups to do so. And just a final note on to just echo Committeeman Senabrino's comments. I want to wish on behalf of my family to all of yours in Middletown and everyone a very happy Thanksgiving also. So with that, Mayor, I will end my comments this evening right there.
Okay, thank you. Deputy Mayor Murray.
And I guess I'm going to be the last tonight to also congratulate you, Mayor, and you, Mr. Senabrino. I am very much looking forward to next year and the next few after that. Very much
Thanks,
to see that. One thing I'd like to mention, we are testing the beta version of our app, which is very exciting. So hopefully we'll have the final version out soon. And that's something very much to look forward to, because it's important for transparency and for us to stay on the cutting edge with technology, for our residents to be able to access the government, and just have the ease of having the information in a handheld device, which I'm a huge fan of, as my colleagues know up here. I'm not going to repeat the wonderful Veterans Day events that we went to. I'm sure the mayor will expand on that also. But one thing I did want to mention was the Westminster Church, the ceremony they had over the weekend. You may have noticed the field of flags. I believe there were over 6,000 flags there in honor of those who were injured or killed in the Afghani and Iraqi war. And it was a very solemn, very special occasion. And again, I'm sure the mayor will expand upon that. And again, thank you all, and have a happy Thanksgiving.
Okay, thank you. Where do we begin? We didn't have a workshop meeting in early November, so I have all these pent-up events that happened that I have to run through. But they're all good things, so it's worth it. About 3 weeks ago tonight, actually, we had an economic development town hall at the Arts Center, and I think it was a huge success. It gave us an opportunity to showcase a lot of the economic development projects we have going on around town. Some of the areas we would like to see development take place, or redevelopment more specifically. And it was really good to see people get together and bat around ideas, and we got a lot of nice kind words afterwards. So it's something that we will probably do on a somewhat regular basis to try and, as things occur, to make sure people have an opportunity to weigh in on them and make sure that they're aware of what's happening. The week later, we had a delegation from China come in. 36 Chinese representatives from businesses, from government, come into the Arts Center for a day-long event. And we're looking to sort of reverse the trend where we tend to send companies and money over to Asia, where maybe they would come here and invest in the United States and bring some of that money back home. So it was a great event. It was a great learning event for both parties, and I think it was, again, a huge success. I have to congratulate Maggie O'Brien, who's the director of the Arts Center, who pulls together these magnificent events at the drop of a hat, and she does a tremendous job all the time, and this is no different. Now on to the Veterans Day, so you see this going sort of chronological. I had the opportunity and the pleasure of attending 4 or 5 different Veterans Day events. The first one being the Veterans Day event at the Regal Point Senior Complex. And it's really quite an honor, because you have everybody from World War II up to Vietnam. But we sometimes tend to forget that the Vietnam veterans are now in their 70s, close to 80. That was nearly 50 years ago, maybe a little more than 50 years ago, and was sort of an outgrowth of the Korean War. So they're getting to be quite elderly. Just goes to show, when I was a kid, my older brother was drafted into Vietnam. I don't think of him as being elderly, although he probably is and doesn't want to hear it. Then, as the deputy mayor said about the Field of Flags, what a moving ceremony. When you realize that each one of those flags represents one of these soldiers who gave their life for the country. And I'm sniffing because I'm just getting over the horrible flu. But it was really something to see the Gold Star moms get up, and they've managed to turn unspeakable grief into a positive, where they speak with pride about the dedication and the honor with which their children serve their country. It was one of the most moving events I've ever been involved in, and it really was something I wouldn't trade for anything. Then we had the Veterans Day parade on Veterans Day, and it was great. The weather held out. I think that contributed part to this, marching in that windy, windy breeze for a couple of hours. But again, a great event, and it's a real small town event in a town that's probably the 12th largest municipality in the state. And everybody gets involved. The volunteer firemen, the first aid, Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts, the high school North and South marching bands, and certainly all the veterans. It was really quite a display. And then the VFW has a reception afterwards, so it was good to see so many people come out and line the streets. It really shows that we really have that patriotic spirit is alive and well here in Middletown. I'm sorry, that was Sunday, and then Monday for Veterans Day was a dedication of the Korean War Memorial at the VFW. And the Korean War, many of you know, is termed, sometimes derisively so, the forgotten war, because it kind of fell in between Vietnam, which was so publicized and so televised, and World War II, which was certainly one of incredible national importance. So it's great to see these veterans who were as every bit as brave and dedicated finally get a memorial to their service during that conflict. Then this past Saturday, we had the Drug and Alcohol Alliance breakfast, the annual breakfast, and a great gathering of a great group that does so much good for so many people in town here. I'm about halfway through.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. We had, this is on my list here, we had a meeting with Frank Malone, the congressman, and several residents from the Ideal Beach area. And I think it was very productive, at least from the standpoint that we got this on the congressman's radar, and we hope it'll go, much further than this. But I thought it was a productive meeting, and hopefully it will be the first of many productive meetings until we get this resolved. And I guarantee you we will not let up on anybody who's in that room until we get satisfaction out of this. Then, somebody mentioned the American Legion pancake breakfast. Is that a weekly or is
It's monthly.
Monthly. But what a great event, and it's really a good cause. Anything that the American Legion, the VFW, does in this town is really always for a good cause. Excuse me. And then finally, for the election, I really want to thank everybody, the people of Middletown as a whole, for coming out so strongly. It is so heartwarming and gratifying to see all of the hard work and effort that you put in over the years recognized and rewarded with the honor of serving another 3 years. I think I'll speak for my running mate, Kevin, when I say I can't think of any bigger honor or more humbling honor than to be chosen by your fellow residents and taxpayers to serve in elected office. I think elected office serving in elected office is one of the most noble things you can do if you do it honestly and you do it earnestly. And it really is a tremendous experience. And I'm forever and everybody's dead here. With that, I'm about to run out of gas and my throat's going to give out once and for all. Very happy Thanksgiving to everybody here. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful time, a safe time, and pray for a nice day for the parade, okay? Thank you very much.
Okay, we have public comments.
Where's my gavel?
Good evening, Frank Sell, 20 Chelsea. I've been up here several times discussing the problem we're having with Beacon Hill Road. And we've had several meetings, and I'd also like here to congratulate Kevin and Jerry on the great victory here in Middletown.
Thanks, Frank.
Middletown's very proud of you, Jerry. But however, I'm going to step out of this thing for a while, and I'll introduce one who is more adept and probably solid youth at Beacon Hill Road to save the cars, etc. And then when it's trash, kind of change directions of which way we're going to try to save cars to solve the problem. And so I'd like to introduce the general manager of Beacon Hill Country Club.
Okay, Frank, you're gonna have to sit down and he'll have to come up as a separate speaker.
For the record.
For the record.
For the record?
Yeah, because we have to introduce one at a time, so, you know,
Okay.
we know for the minutes. Okay.
Can I use his name?
Sure, yeah.
All right.
No, I'm just saying you can't be up there at the same time.
Mike Rudolph,
Okay.
general manager for Beacon Hill Country Club.
Okay,
He would also like to speak.
okay, thanks.
Thank you very much,
Thank you, Frank.
and happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Before I call you up, I just want to remind, I'm sorry, Frank, I should have said this before. Everybody who comes up, please remember to give your name and address for the record. And also remember to keep your comments 5 minutes. There's a lot of folks here, and if they all want to speak, we have to be conscious and respectful of other people's time. So I will let you know when it's getting close, and when 5 minutes comes, you're going to have to sit down. If you still want to speak further, we'd be happy to stay around afterwards and speak on any topic that you want, okay? Thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Michael Redon. I'm the general manager of Beacon Hill Country Club. I live in Basking Ridge on 20 Allen Street. I've been the general manager at Beacon Hill since September 1 of last year, 2012. I've been managing the private country club for the last 23 years. And on arriving at Beacon Hill, well, first of all, I want to say that it's not, I actually recognize several of you being at the club. It's kind of nice. I haven't introduced myself prior, I apologize. But when I arrived at the club, one of the things that struck me was Beacon Hill Road as being a very unusual situation. The steepness of the hill at the top, and the way that the club plays holes across the road. And it was one of the first things I was surprised that a road was ever built through there like that, or of course was built around. That being said, over the past year, I've come to find out that there's been a lot of near misses with accidents there, kids on bicycles, wiping out kids. It's very attractive to skateboarders. They like to go down the hill, need some speed, and are kind of go pretty fast down that road as well. We have cars crossing the road. We have several sort of blind areas. I was fortunate to meet with Mr. Maloney, and we talked a little bit about the situation. Apparently it's come up before, and himself has been helping us with this as well. The club originally wanted to, when I say originally, during my tenure, I mean, wanted to put some sort of a speed bump, something to slow the traffic down a little bit. Mr. Maloney explained to me that there's been a little bit of resistance to those kinds of traffic control methods in Middletown. He came up with a very nice sketch of an option which would include some sort of a circle which would slow traffic down. And I presented that to my board, and there was a little bit of sensitivity there because we are a very tight golf course. We only have 88 acres for an 18-hole course. That's very unusual for clubs. Most 18-hole courses, I would say, probably are in the 120 to 150 and even higher range. Certainly the clubs I've been at, much higher acreage. So the board is a little sensitive about giving us some more land to the circle, and also the sketch originally encroached on one of our greens very closely. Mr. Maloney, this evening, explained that maybe we could modify that sketch. That the board wanted to pursue something that they've talked about once before, and that's privatizing the road. And I understand in the past there was some pushback on one side or the other, that they are interested in exploring the possibility, and just wanted to see if there's room to talk about that.
The process started with that idea. In order for a road to become a public street, to become a private street, the township have to take an action called a vacation, which is essentially we give up our rights to that road but we also give up our responsibilities to the road too. And so it can be done. You have to have agreement with all of the affected property owners, and that would include the golf course and homes that live along there and access it, because those homeowners would have to realize that we wouldn't plow the road anymore. Hope that you guys would have an arrangement in place to do that, and generally you'd have to have agreement with everybody affected. I think that's a threshold. If everyone doesn't agree, that's not allowed to happen. Assuming you got everyone affected to agree, I think we could definitely pursue a vacation of the road. So we're open to that. Like I said, that's how this whole thing started, really. And it was ultimately, my understanding was the club that didn't want to do that ultimately.
That's my understanding as well. Now, there's some different places on our current board, and they were a little bit more open to doing that. And so, I just wanted to get a sense that there's openness to look at that. I don't know if there's I was asking Mr. Selfman about, in this kind of situation, somewhere down the road needs to be repaid. Is there some sort of a give and take on that, or is it strictly?
Once it's vacated, it's vacated.
Yeah, okay.
And Tony, are those houses in the garbage district, or are they in the private district for recycle collection and garbage?
I have to check. I think they're in the district, actually.
So you still would have to allow those vehicles, contractors to be.
Those are the types of issues that have to be worked out: trash, recycling, pickup. Obviously, emergency services, fire, first aid calls will still have to be able to access our road. So if the idea was to privatize it and gate the road, that would be an issue for emergency services and other services that would have to be addressed.
Okay, we're gonna have to move on, but if you want, we can chat about this after the meeting.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Good evening, all. Greg Hutchinson, 40 Taylor Avenue. Greg, not Craig.
Right.
That's right. The reason I'm here, I just want to kind of give a brief overview of what's going on in the community. I know that you guys talked at quite a length at, what's going on your side. Just want to give everybody an idea of what's going on our side. Many of the residents have formed a task force. We're now calling the North Middletown Flood Insurance Task Force. Our group is just basically to kind of be the liaison to all the local, state, and federal officials that take interest in our cause, which the more the merrier, obviously. We want to see what changes we can do to our current situation regarding FEMA, flood maps, and skyrocketing insurance rates. With that being said, I'd like to personally thank the mayor and deputy mayor and all of the township officials that got the meeting together with Congressman FEMA and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. I felt it was productive in some ways. In some ways it seemed a little discouraging, but in the same sense I think that at least we got our voices heard.
Greg, having all those bodies under one roof was productive right there, so,
We weren't expecting that. We got word that people wasn't going to be there and some other people were going to be there, so we were a little surprised, but I think that actually worked out better for us because I think they're the ones that we ultimately need to connect with the officials pushing that. This was good in helping not only us, but everybody in our neighborhood understand the hurdles we have to go over and kind of give some ideas of what we need to do to get over those hurdles. I think we had 3 possibilities to really move forward on and see what happens with those and all the other opportunities in the future. Back to the update on our group. We're currently working on a strategic plan to kind of bring everybody together. We have about, I'd say 15 to 20 people that are really making up the task force, but then we have hundreds of people that are, detached the neighborhood. So we're working on a strategic plan. Main reason I want to talk tonight is just I want to let everybody know that, as I said before, we're going to be in all the council meetings from this point on. We're going to be on top of you as you're going to be on top of them. Because we have to keep the ball rolling on every level, and we're continuing the letters. We are working on getting some letters out and mass mailings to get to the elected officials and to FEMA and to anybody else that we need to send it to. Also, really soon, we're going to have some more information on our end to pass on to residents. So if there's anybody interested in joining the fight or just want to keep abreast of the situation, feel free to contact us and we'll get out any information we can if we can. Lastly, our fight's come a long way in the last month. This is mainly due to some amazing people in our neighborhood. For one thing, this has really drove our neighborhood very tightly together, which in the past wasn't necessarily true, as well as the cooperation and hard work of not only the township officials, but the township employees and everybody in between. So we want to thank you for that. We want to thank the mayor and council for making the township for making the resolution and passing the resolution and staying on top of that. That's very important. Getting to show that the township is at one with this issue, which can be all over the board. And just I want to throw this out there. We have, just from the top of my head, we have 4 engineers, a land surveyor, and a wealth of other resources in our group. So please, if you need anything from us, and if you want us to research anything further, please let us know. As you said earlier, it's on our dime, so
Right.
us and the township. So I just want to make that offer and let everybody know that we're still continuing our fight. We're just going beyond. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Greg. We're with you on this, believe me. Would anybody else care to speak? Seeing no further members of the... Oh, Leo. I have a quick look tonight now.
Good evening, Leo Christopoulos, 121 Cranberry Court, Middletown. I'm sent here by a political coalition and to represent them. And in the vote they took for a representative, I won. And as a winner, I'm not gloating, but I'm happy I did win. Anyway, congratulations for those who participated in the local election, all members who did so, because it shows a healthy government, I think. I quoted Shakespeare in the last meeting, I believe, and the quote, I did intend to apply to Shakespeare's The Merchant of Venice. I attributed the lines to The Merchant of Venice. The lines are not from The Merchant of Venice. It's from Act 2 of Julius Caesar, when Brutus was debating with a general on an issue of whether he should engage in battle that day. The general advised no, and Brutus ordered yes, on the grounds there's a tide in the affairs of men, which taking at the flood lead on to fortune. So it's, like when's Eisenhower going to send an army from England over to Europe? At any rate, I may copy the quote and pass it out to this government body and ask them to memorize the whole thing. I'd just like to make one final statement about I just got my, what do you call it, tax assessment for the upcoming tax, I guess, in 2014, whether it's a calendar year, split calendar year, whatever it is. And everything's the same this year as it was last year. However, I'm a little bit concerned that everything looks nice as long as one doesn't look at the tax rate that's applied in the upcoming year to the same numbers that existed in my tax assessment statement last year. Obviously, I would ask you, members of this governing body, to actually lower the tax rate this year coming in the next budget, so that it comes in lower than last year. I'm sure that's an onerous burden on you people with the way costs are escalating. But if you look at it, there are things going on that with Sandy, some people have dropped off the rolls, you have to make it up somewhere. Businesses are making less money, paying lower taxes, and there's always the catch. Well, let's look to the property taxpayers, and we can raise the tax rate in 2014, even though the assessment numbers are the same. That's a no-no. Thank you for letting me speak. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, Leo. Anybody else care to speak? Seeing no further members of the public come forward, move to close the public portion and move for adoption, move for adjournment. Right.
Committeeman Fury.
Yes.
Committeeman Pascal.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Murray.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Mayor Schaumburg.
Yes.
Motion carries to adjourn.